You're listening to the Business Communicators.
You mentioned branding and companies starting off, and I'm always a good fan of a good rebranding story. And so this one,
I'm
this
curious
one
where
kind
this is going to go, Thomas.
of was going to talk about the Pearl Milling Company.
Awful name. Awful name.
Ooh, it sounds so
It's-
sexy. Makes me want to go out and buy it. Ooh, what is it? What is
It's
it?
too clunky.
It's a whole lot of stuff. So the Pearl Milling Company is now, or Aunt Jemima is now the Pearl Milling Company. The whole changing of your brands that invoked wrong stuff on a right reason. But if you're given a blank slate to rebuild a pancake company, why the Pearl Milling Company?
But they're not a pancake company. They sell more than one product. Come on. I agree that, yeah, you should be rebranded because you were created out of a negative situation. However, when you think about it, and when I read about why they changed it and why they chose the name that they chose, I mean, okay, I wasn't exactly convinced that was the best way to go, but when you talk about rebranding, and we talked about this earlier, rebranding is, why are you doing it? Are you doing it to increase your loyalty or increase your revenue, build this, build that? Okay, so now I'm the Pearl Milling Company. Do you think that's going to inspire more loyalty?
No.
Revenue,
No.
sales? Do you think it's going to take you some time to get used to that name before you decide to say, let's kick it to the curb? Sure, I'll stick with you. You're Pearl now. You're not Aunt Jemima. So what?
The name's just too clunky. I'm sorry. I know I've said that a lot so far on this podcast.
Well, they okay.
Clunky.
They said they didn't change it, the name, to inspire you by name. They changed it based on the fact that these are the products that we've been selling for hundreds of years. And we know our consumers, and we know.
Do they?
Well, it is Pepsi. PepsiCo owns the Pearl Milling Company now, and they did all their due diligence on the back end of it. Oh, we had a focus group, and we did this, and we did that. I'm like, yeah. Austin's point, it's too clunky. If you watch the movie Founder about Ray Kroc and the McDonald's brothers, he said the reason y'all are so successful is because of the name McDonald's.
But McDonald's doesn't connotate a racial stereotype.
No. I'm agreeing that Aunt Jemima's name should have been changed. I'm just saying that if you're given a blank slate to rebrand something completely, why that one?
So it's interesting that you guys mentioned rebranding. I actually looked up some companies that have gone through major rebrands over the last 20 years. And of course you see some like Walmart moving from like Wal-Mart to just Walmart, Starbucks going from Starbucks coffee to Starbucks. But I was interested in like the cost of some of these rebrands and how much some of these companies paid. And actually Logo Creative had a story. I think they're based out of the UK. This is probably, about a year or two ago. They had some valuations on the most expensive rebrands. Semantic Brand and Acquisition cost $1.28 billion for their rebrand. A company that Hattie and I used to work for, BP, their rebrand, when they switched from British Petroleum to BP and the Helios, that cost $210 million. That is an insane amount of money. Accenture, their logo, my fiance works there. $100 million for that logo design. It's just incredible. But then you start, to go down that list. Citibank is at like 1.5 million. Pepsi's logo, 1 million. The London Olympics logo in 2012 was just over $600,000. And then you keep on scrolling and scrolling. Two more surprises. I'm going to give you guys a guess. The Nike logo. It's probably one of the most recognizable brands, one of the most recognizable logos in the entire world. How much do you think that cost?
Go ahead, Hattie.
Let's play Price is Right. Price is Right. Give me your bid.
$2 million.
Thomas?
$1. No, it's $500 because it was a college kid friend who kind of did it on the back of a napkin, and he said, "I want to buy this off of you." I think it was $500. It might be even lower than that.
So I think your $1 bid would have won. You did go over. The Nike logo cost $35,
Yeah.
and it was rebranded several times. The Nike made it what it is today. But I just think it's fascinating that you can spend upwards of $1 billion on a logo like Semantic. I think if you were to ask anyone listening to this podcast, like what Semantic's logo looks like, nobody would have a clue. The brands that are recognizable around the world, like Nike, McDonald's, Burger King, they're not
Starbucks.
spending millions and millions and millions of dollars on logos. Maybe rebrands, yes, but they've already got iconic logos where people recognize and understand them. But it just goes to show you that you can create a great logo and not overspend. So I would encourage you, if you're creating a business logo, don't spend over $1 million. You can get something great at a reasonable rate.
And I'm going to
Well,
say that
this
if you're a
is the thing.
rebrand company or a logo company, we're open for sponsorships. We have listeners all over the world. We don't charge anywhere near $1 billion yet. You can email Austin.
Logo is just a part of your brand. Brand is really about what you promise to deliver.
Yeah.
And one thing you will say about Nike, they created that look and it sustained them for so long because they have delivered time and time again.
It's iconic.
Getting back, well, yeah. Everybody knows. I mean, and even McDonald's. Do you know the first word some kids learn? They know that golden arches. They know the point. McDonald's.
I believe there's like a report that came out. It said that the two most recognizable symbols in the world were the cross and the McDonald's logo.
The golden arches.
Yep.
But in reality, that's when you made it as a company.
Well, you deliver. You made a promise and you delivered on that promise. I will say this, going back to Aunt Jemima or the Pearls Milling Company, the products that they have delivered over time have always been very good. So I don't care what you call yourself. I'm glad you're not Aunt Jemima anymore. But if your product is still good and it's delicious, yeah, I'm gonna buy it.
And in their defense, looking at the color schematics and the background pictures, it's the same red, it's the same yellow. You're walking down the endless aisles of pancake batter or syrup. You're going to kind of pick it up out of the corner of your eye as the same. It's just the name.
But if it tastes horrible, I don't care
Absolutely.
what you look like.
100%. But I will say this, we do have a lot of Canadian listeners. I think it's like 10-15% of our listeners are from Canada. If you want to send us some maple syrup from Canada, just hit us up, send us a DM. We'll definitely sample your favorite products.
And I'll do a review.
Could be a fun episode. We could do a review. Yeah, I don't know, just spitballing there.
And here's Thomas's random fact for the day, that maple syrup is one of the most counterfeited products in the world.
Interesting.
I saw that at bar trivia a long time ago, and I remember reading about it. I don't know if it still is, but at one point in time, it was one of the largest counterfeit products in the world. So, but I'm on with Austin's chain. Send us your favorite products. We'll talk about it on the podcast and enjoy some pancakes.
You've been listening to the Business Communicators.